It's 9:33 on December 1st, the new moon of Antares. I was just live. I went for 30 minutes. Y'all were saying that you couldn't hear me. I looked down and saw it said you couldn't hear me. So I'm back on here in order to see if y'all can hear me. I'm just going to sit here. This information's going. I'm just going to keep going. This is happening whether or not YouTube wants to block anyone from hearing it or not. Thank you. Can y'all hear and yawn? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here because I really need your fly on the wall consciousness on this. Did y'all hear anything that I said? Did y'all hear anything from that last video? If y'all can tell me, I know Bayeth was there. Could you hear me on anything that I was saying, yes or no? Oh, okay. Thank you. See, oh my Lord, right now. Well, I had a meeting. I just had one. If y'all couldn't hear me, because I took a screenshot when I closed out that live and it had over 1,000 hours of viewing. Tell me how 6 of y'all saw it, 27 viewed it. It's been viewed over 1,000 hours now, and it's a 29-minute video. Explain that shit to me. Oh, we're doing more than master jumping. Jan, here's what's happening. And this is why even your school stuff, the whole way we're delivering spiritual information to the collective is changing right now. Akashic libraries are being moved out of reach of frequencies. It's like the entire libraries, Akashic library system blew up. Everybody was like, it's a book, so it goes into one certain tree, and then everyone had access to all this spiritual information, who had it, knowing the names of who did this and this and that. Well, the library is being reorganized, and the books and the knowledge, the new stuff, because this ain't no new knowledge. This is old knowledge that just went through a freaking new system that has a lot of new tricks, tools, and a whole bunch of power that the healers are controlling. Not the ones with the money. We have to change. Something has to change right now. And Cohu 32 has been 7 years in the process in order to get this information down to color in a subliminal message. I want y'all to realize what you know about Cohu 32 right now. When you see that color in your reality, that is the information that is getting delivered to you. It's the vibe that's coming in. It's what it is. When you're in a 7-day creation process, which we've had 5 now as a collective. We've had 5 7-day creation processes that recreates everything in 7 days. If you're not on your astronomy, you're not gonna know when they are. If I don't come on in here and tell you, you're not gonna know when they are. If you're the one that is, or the small group, and I mean small, that's wielding this ancient knowledge for the entire fucking universe, if you make a mistake, even if it's for a minute, if you make a mistake and then you realize it a minute later and you fix it, it can cost you a year. It can cost you a year. This spiritual knowledge runs your world. It's always run the world. It's not only run the world, it's run the planetary systems, it's run the cosmic systems, it's run space-time, it's run your financial systems, it's how you dress yourself, it's how you feed yourself. What people call the spiritual system, I don't give a shit what deity you're talking in your head. When I'm talking about a spiritual system, I'm talking about how your body creates things on this planet with a group of people. Us that are ancient healers have been holding that for you your whole existence. We've been holding your body codes. We've been holding the atmosphere. We've been making your oxygen. Every single piece, every single finance, every single yen, every single whatever you want to call gold, anything that has any value has been processed through the feminine, divine feminine part of you currents on this planet to give it value. But yet, nobody gives any value to the ones who bring in the information. In fact, the whole system is set up not to give the ones who are holding it anything. Because if you give us something, then we're connected into their money system, which is why nobody's invested in us, which is why none of us have still been on the news. I mean, realize we channel every single Akashic library down here, and we've been hunted, hybridized and hunted, so that they could get the information from us, so that they could charge you for it. Who's giving it to us? Who's giving us anything? Nobody. Nobody. Every single one of the ancient healers down here is exhausted. We're happy that we're not being attacked anymore, which is the only reason we've been a little docile this past 6 months, because it's taken us 7 fucking years to harness this energy to get them off of us so that we could even breathe while the rest of the world is waking up. And we're only worried about waking them up, and we're only worried about getting them in waves. But who the fuck was protecting us? Oh, so now you want to come learn how to do that. Okay, well, we got a problem. I had this argument with somebody in 2018 in this process, and I was only wanting to charge $20 or $30. And the argument within the group was that this information is spiritual information and it should be free. And she put her fucking foot down, and we've been walking. Blame that bitch. We've been walking this ever since. Now, the problem is somebody's getting paid for this spiritual information. Ukraine's been getting paid. All the industry and celebrities that were sent to attack us and steal our energy, they're getting paid. If we wouldn't have created the energy, and if we wouldn't have created a Bitcoin system, they wouldn't have any way to get paid. All the while, nobody's paying us. The families that we're living in are all handlers. None of us are together. We're all scattered all over the United States. We're barely existing, but at least we're existing off our own current right now. At least we're existing off our own current. We're not having to exist off any other energy frequency down here in order to create a current, which guess what that is? It's called pure energy. It's free energy. There it is. It's free energy. There it is. Are you still paying for energy? Are you paying us? No. Then who are you paying? The ones attacking you to make sure that you keep paying for free energy? Make it make sense. Now, the problem isn't all of you that don't have enough money in order to pay a whole bunch of money. That's not the problem. That's the effect. We have a cause and we have an effect. We've been dealing with the effect. The reason we don't have any money, the reason that I purposely didn't go plant my flag and say these readings are $400 and the only way that you're going to get enlightened is if you come pay me $4,000 or $5,000 or I'll come train you and my book is $300. Because if I would have done that, I would have built a reptilian system. They're the only ones who have money. All of us who were the real organic ones from the pioneer days that have been locked down here, making and breeding their bodysuits, cleaning their money, especially all of us in the South and the Southern Hemisphere. What are you talking about? So what do we do? Number one, I need everyone to understand that Cohu 32 is your new Earth bridge system. It's running whether or not you're aware it's there or not. It's running and it's working properly. It's already been tested. When you're making decisions, you've got another set of decisions that those of us who have mastered the program, walked it for the past 7 years with nothing, having to zero out. And I mean, I'm not talking about just cash. I'm talking about no real estate in your name, no insurance in your name, no car in your name, no company in your name, no checking account in your name, no phone number in your name. You literally had to fucking come into the matrix and not exist. Become the matrix so that all your children could live. That's what your ancients have done for you. What are you going to do for us? Your ancients sent cash out into the system so that all of y'all the past 6 years could get what you needed, because none of y'all understand how an ancient procession works. Whenever you come in to do a procession, you have an allotment. That allotment, you literally will have only the $50 that you need to pay for the hotel. But you got to count on somebody showing up to give you back your $50. Okay, well, which doctor? The problem is you're not running a clear frequency. That's why you can keep giving your book for free, but are you teaching them that that's how they're attached into the organic and how to make their own energy? If your book's for free, how are you living? I mean, I'm just curious. How are you living? Are you living? Do you have a husband? Are they paying for your rent? Did you have free land that was given to you by your parents? Do you have a free house? Do you have a free chair? See, we were all adopted. We didn't get any inheritance. I don't give a shit if your book is free or not. I put up Cohu 32 in the etherics and went through ASP processing down to bit and color as an ancient. Your atmosphere is free. Your oxygen is free. I've been on here for 7 years walking in the collective through this process so that we could all survive. We've survived now. And the only reason we fought a war the past 4 years is because a bunch of people had some information they were selling that they shouldn't have been selling, or giving it for free to the ones who were paying into their organization. This ain't about the money. This is how you make money. Nobody down here understands how you make money except the group that's been hunted to make your money. And look, I don't, maybe the answer is all of y'all pull us out of the atmosphere. Do it. Somebody fucking order it. Somebody order it. Divine Feminine no longer is free Wi-Fi, free baby making, free oxygen, free carbon dioxide, free brain power. If you want to continue to do that, you're going to end up in a million years with your children trapped on the dark side, on the other side of a robotville. Because it's exactly what happened to us. This information is what created everything down here. But whenever you're the one delivering the information, you get caught up in the creation of everybody down here that's using it. Nobody wants to give the ancients their props. Nobody wants to give us. Now realize there's an account sitting at Chase Bank with $44 million in it that belongs to me. If I never got that check, that's why you don't have any money. And it ain't just because you think I'm going to turn around and hand it all out to you in a checking account. It's not how it fucking works. It'll hit your line because on the top of the line, you finally made it all the way to the top and got paid. How do you think that stream's ever going to hit you at the bottom if it never comes at the top, if the Ukraine's getting it? And I don't give a shit what Ukraine is doing. And I don't give a flying fuck what the flying monkeys are doing. What I'm concerned about is my ancient healers that have nothing left to give. Nothing left to give. We've got a new wave of people that now want to obsessively ask questions, get all the information all at once, who are beating up on all the healers, and nobody's helping us. We don't have any groups or networks that don't involve getting on the internet in some capacity or a telecom phone number to be able to even speak to each other. So just everyone realize that as we're spread out all over the world and you think that you're just having a conversation with your friend that you have to have in order to get through this. So don't stop doing it. But please everyone realize that it's going and being recorded. And only 27 people will show on YouTube to watch your video, but it's been watched over 1,000 hours already within 20 minutes. I have beat my head up against the wall with this brand. This brand in the making of Cohue 32 is why I've traveled all over the United States. I was led to all those places. I was led there under the disguise that there would be a group of people that would be around me in the physical, that would support me to help get this information to the human population so they can start developing New Earth. And everywhere that I went, I was spinal tapped. I was held hostage, literally, in the physical. And here I sit today, still hardly no resources. Every possibility of resources that's coming in is hinged to something else. I'm having to be really super careful because nobody even understands exactly what it is that we've created here, including us. Including us. And my ancient Egyptian mystery school freaking goddess is coming out right now. And I'm starting to realize why we had to pay. Why? Why was it in ancient Egypt that only the aristocrats and the rich ones could get the information? Well, it's because it's the only ones who had the DNA in order to be able to understand it back then. It had nothing to do with money. The spiritual community, and I'll remind everybody how I ended up in the spiritual community. I didn't go looking for enlightenment. As an ancient incarnate that was your planet and that created Gaia, with physical connections to my fucking body, half of it turned into a robot, half of it is still organic, and a living mummy, having all connections back into every single DNA strand down here, not to do with money. None of it had to do with money, but it was all about the money. Y'all don't realize how powerful you are. Do you understand that you can turn a homeless man into a celebrity in a year if they're getting backed by the industry? You, go look in the mirror. Your connection to all of us, you literally can turn a homeless person into a celebrity in a year, and it will blow your fucking mind what they end up looking like. I've watched it. This is why they wanted us. This is why they were doing what they were doing. It ain't our job to process people and make them into stars. That's not our job. It ain't our job to clean the fucking national deficit. I need everyone to understand. Saint Sarah energy is running every single one of your motors down here, every single wheel, every single ball bearing system, every single decimal system, which is your entire finance system, your postal code systems, the entire inner workings of the matrix. But we don't have anything. And nobody thinks that they need to give us anything. They think that we're only supposed to give you something because you think that we have the answers. Hell yeah, we've got the answers. We've got all the goddamn answers. Anybody care to look and see where we're sitting right now? Then you want to wonder why the world's in trouble? If I go to make a bunch of coins, because you want a physical representation of that coin, what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to get some type of metal, gold, silver, I don't know. What do you find value in, collective? I'm going to have to melt that down, and then I'm going to have to put somebody's face on it, and then I'm going to say, okay, now that's backed by the gold, it's backed by the silver, it's backed by that bitch's face, it's backed by that rigger's face, whatever it is, there's your value. Where'd they get the gold? What do you think the face is? How do you think we became money? But I'm sorry, in this new world, you don't need a coin. It's just a digit in a system. It's still running the value process. Cribba, y'all don't, I'm sorry. I'm losing it right now with this. I don't need to look for enlightenment. No shit. I got shock activated in my backyard and I was forced to plant earth. Then all of y'all, Then we all worked together for 3 years to heal the entire human race. And then you're over here, literally, that's what you just said to me? I don't think y'all understand what type of issue we're having right now. Spiritual knowledge is about to get really fucking expensive. If you already have it and you have organic internal connections, then there's a process to follow it. It's called Cohu 32. I don't know what I'll be completely fucking honest right now, because this is why I'm on here having this conversation. Because if you can't see that I'm completely fucking perplexed right now on what to do. All I'm worried about is the ones who are at my level right now. Because if we don't start getting some support, the whole thing's gonna fall out. And I really don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer is. People get activated and then they're going through their own shit, and they for some reason can't look at the one in front of them and see, we have no place to live, we haven't had any money, we can't even spend the money. All the money that y'all sent to me, I can't even spend it. We clean money. I have to make money from money. The money that y'all sent to me to do charts was your money clearing for doing that chart. It works together in a system. I can't go spend that money on just whatever in the middle of a cycle when I haven't been given any money like at all for 2 years. That money is going to go into ordering the cards or ordering this or ordering that. I know how the system works. If I'm going to continue to even build Cohu 32, I don't know if I am right now. I'll be honest. I can't sit here. I've tried for 3 years to get the people around me to be able to do charts. I've trained 3 different groups. One of them became your Democratic Party. I'm going to say it again. I've trained 3 different groups to read charts. One of them became your Democratic Party. Is it my responsibility to develop the training stuff, develop the templates, develop the videos, put it all out for free, have to completely create a new interface for the web system to go in with the DNA because the physics has changed? I mean, this is what I'm doing over here for the entire human race and for your children to bring in and bridge the new earth and to finish the timelines so that the timelines can come in, because they're not all the way here yet. You still have 3 months to walk through the system. All of us that are ancient healers are having to deal with a lizard army, a democratic army. And I'm sorry, they're all the ones who just stole all the information that they're telling me I'm supposed to give for free, but then gives me no resources to get it out for free. Every time it gets close to getting to us, then they just spin it out, steal all the money, and pay Ukraine. It's all blood money. This is why, thank you, Shay. It's all blood money. Yes, it is. But we still live, and this has been the perplexity of the Star Crew. Because realize, I've been involved with every single accord that's ever happened down here with this energy. They convinced us to drop the bit. They convinced us that we needed to create a digital current system because everybody was going to kill themselves and try to kill each other for resources. And then if we need money to make things, then how can we give them for free? If we need money to make things off things that we already own and are already ours, but no one just wants to give us anything back from it. So then what happens, like, realize what's happening is right now, even the entire financial system is changing. It's not going to be what anybody thinks. It's getting to the point, because whenever you're true manifesting, when everything's lined up, you really shouldn't need money. The problem is there's too many people that are still in the system, running the system. Okay, it's starting to change though. Did you see what happened on Black Friday? That's cool. The people are getting it. It's starting to change, but now but there's a settling that's happening right here. For all of us who have all this ancient knowledge that everyone's been stealing and hurting you for, guess what? We got the karma for it. They didn't. We did. If your energy is being used for some bad shit, you're going to get the karma for it. You are. In the ethers, for sure. For sure. It might not show up on the ground, but the ethers is just as bad. And it's maybe even longer, because it could be 3-year process that you're having to work out in the ethers, because they're using your energy. So according to the matrix, you should be able to control it. So it's your fault. So really, this is why we had witch wars. I'm telling you how World War I, World War II started. I'm explaining what the fuck's been going on since the medieval times. And it's hitting my world right now, and I'm coming on here to talk to you about it. You know why? Because all I see are the faces of the ones that are like me, that did it all for the people and for our children. Millions of years we have done this for our people and our children. So the past 7 years was pure fucking survival and will and faith. And we can't do it anymore. We have to have each other. We have to be able to support one another. And I'm not just talking about ordering a chart, because if you haven't realized, then that creates a lot more work. Because why? The book should already be written and out. The template should already been developed. All of it's been done. The problem is, then the creator being is the one doing all the work. We're back to one. Now it's not only doing the charts, get all the marketing out, get all this out. And I don't have any problem with that, except for I'm sitting by myself with 2 elderly people, and I'm still stuck in the pit in Texas. And no one seems to care. My son is still, I can't talk to my son. No one seems to care. Everybody wants to come and tell me that their sons are missing, or their daughters were taken from him. I can look at your chart and explain what happened, but who's looking at me and going, oh my God, we need to get Chastia's son back? Because if Chastia's son isn't with her, then all of our sons are in danger. No shit! But from all of us that are ancient healers, nobody can see it. Nobody can see our woundings. All everyone can see is theirs. That's the process. That's fine. We even understand it. It's why the fuck it's been allowed to go on this long. Not to mention your ancients and your goddesses. We got to rule some school down here so we can get all our fucking money back and get the banking system and the finances. And so all of y'all get your inheritances that you've known are in the financial and banking system under your fucking name. Yeah, that's what we're going toe to toe with. Do y'all want me doing that or doing a bunch of people's charts? If I'm fighting your banking to get our money back, do I have to do it by myself? And then when I do, everybody gets paid? I don't know. I don't know. We're a live wire in this process too. We're just ahead of the game and we're sitting at the top and at the way bottom. Because what happens is then you get it all worked out, you get it all out, you do 7 years, you process the entire human race through a digital current, the ones that were sent here from the future in order to be able to turn everybody's DNA into a setting that can manifest. Also, we can get the money back. But then who's given us any resources to get the money back besides etheric stuff? We're really good at etheric stuff. You can send me love in spirit. You can send me this in the spirit. That's great. We're to the point that those of us who are ancients, you're using our delivery system. We created it. We're trying to finish the delivery system. Where's our support? All of you that are getting activated right now, realize we're solving a problem that's going to come up from you in the future. In fact, this problem that we're having to solve right now is the reason that you don't remember anything. It's the reason you forgot everything. It's the reason you're having to reactivate. What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? See, the money exchange isn't about money. It's not about money. The whole goddess thing and going and giving a offering to a goddess, it's not about the money. It's not about the jewelry. It's not about whatever you bring to do the offering. Whatever you're offering is what we're using. Whatever that offering is, we're using that to change whatever your wish is. If you bring me a gold watch and you go, Chastia, I got to change my time. All I got is this watch. It's all I got. It's all I got in the whole world. Now look, I had to sell and pawn everything that ever fucking mattered to me. Anything from my past life that had a little bit of fucking value, I had to pawn throughout this. Not only that, I had to buy some of y'all shit and then go pawn it again. To get the energy to make something out of it. So that it wouldn't change me. Because if I sit here and I just change it, then what happens? You become the goddamn world and you get shut out. You become the atmosphere. You become this and this and this and this. Because all your etheric body is in this energy is change until it sets. If you're a creator being, everything that you've ever created is inside you. It's inside your creation. You have to process through that. That's what the offering is about. The offering isn't about, oh, I got to give something that I want in order to get. Yes, you do. Because those of us can't turn ourselves into it just so and just because anymore. Our main mission right now is making sure that the full DNA is integrated down here so that the expansion keeps happening, so that the new earth gets here the way everyone automatically thinks that it's here, but we're still in the middle of the process. And it is confusing because in the ethers it is done, but in the ethers it's done, which is why I'm delivering this message today, because it's code red. We need a fucking solution in order to finish it. No, I haven't heard of ice wallow calm, but basically that's what your financial system had domes of on the ice walls, and that's what your Bitcoin is gamma blood going through ice walls trying to get the consciousness inside the center, and the power from the outer ring into the center, and the power from the middle ring into the center, and then everybody got into the center, and then everybody started backing up the human race to their power codes, and then everyone went hog wild on some consciousness. And what's happening now is that everyone's consciousness is going to start getting blocked off. And it ain't going to be a bad thing. If you're supposed to know, you're supposed to know. If you don't know yet, it's on the way. The entire world is run on spiritual reincarnation energy and DNA human energy, but there's not one fucking training facility down here for it that doesn't have an alphabet government protocol on it. Because it's what the government agencies are doing. You're paying the government agencies. I don't care if you're in the United States or not. If you're in another country, then your entire country is paying the United States to cook us to a desired temperature to run your country. Whether or not you're in the, I mean, that's what's so nuts about it. It's one system. It doesn't matter what you call that whatever you call human harvesting energy, as a money, as a dollar, as a yen, as a franc, whatever. It's human harvesting energy. It's what it is. It's going into a corporate job system. Do you want to work in a corporate job system? Is that what you want? Then you're doing everything just fine, and don't and work 9 to 5, which actually those are going to go to Hong Kong hours. So work 12 and see, this is everybody in the industry. This is the ones that came after me in the industry, and this is what's so nuts about this, y'all, because we're dealing with time travel, and we're dealing with magic, and we're dealing with spells that take 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 years to complete. So it's like the ones in the industry figured out in 2022 that they fucked up. They figured it out in 2022. It's too late. It's too late. Everything that they had, everything they threw, they knew at that point on that basically their granddaughters and their future generations are exactly who they threw it to. And they had to sit there and watch us go through it. Okay, fine. Where are you now? Where are you now? I didn't start this process to become enlightened. I was already enlightened. I had all the codes to bring in the universal organic technology for ascension that became your internet, and it became a PayPal gangster, LinkedIn, whatever the fuck, and they took over the world with it. I always had the codes in order to bring it in. It's why I was here. I was the commander. I didn't know anything about spiritual. It wasn't separate in my book. It never has been in my body with my connections. It's always been the same thing. The reason technology exists today is because of this clone batch in 1972 that came in here. It was in our body. Us being down here since the 70s is what created the internet. If we wouldn't have come in here, you wouldn't have had the internet. Why did the internet have to get here? The planet was about to blow up, and we needed to ascend and come up with a way that you could print bodies on the in-between and in the from the third to the fifth dimension, because the planet was so far low and the simulation had already come off the planet, already turned into a simulation. Nobody even knew about it. Nobody even realized that they're being run. There's a system in between that you have to project your body into the 5D. You have to see the 5D. We have to project the 5D. We had to build the 5D. We had to rebirth the planet. We had to rebirth the cosmos. We had to rebirth IO Command Jupiter. We turned it all fucking back on to pull everybody back up. Then you become the planets. Then we had to get out of the planets. We pulled out of the G core. Then we had to become the stars. Then we had to become the space. Then we had to beam it all back down. Then everyone just says, "Oh, it's it's just consciousness." No, it's not just consciousness. You're inside a bigger body trying to get your body back. If you've been using consciousness to steal other people's bodies, then you no longer are going to have a body. If you've been using consciousness to take over the world and make everybody financially enslaved, then there's not going to be any money. I mean, is that where we need to go right now? Do we just need to turn off all money across the world and everybody just fucking figure it out? Realize it's not even up to us anymore. We're putting it in a vote right now. I don't know. Put in a vote. The universe is going to do whatever it fucking needs. Like I said, it's already been done up there. Why am I getting this channeling? You know why? I don't have nothing left to give, and I need some fucking help. And no, and it's not even anybody's fault. It's not even anybody's fault. Okay, I can't get to Canada. My passport's been stolen. I can't go get a passport yet because someone stole my identity. I told you that. They did that back in 2018. I was completely wiped out of the matrix. But yet I'm the one who's supposed to rebuild an entire corporation over here, and I don't even have a driver's license. They stole my company information in 2018. I was never able to shut down GIAtechnology.com. In fact, that website's up for sale right now. GIA Technology became Gaia. Government oil companies in Saudi have had it. Is it my responsibility to have to earn $8,000 to go buy back the GIA.com so that the world can survive, and it's my problem alone? No, it's not. It's not. It's not my problem alone. The fact is, the problem is, it's been my problem alone. Nobody knew down here what was going on because it's been going on so long, and everyone thinks it's just our problem. No, it's not. It's the world's problem. It's no longer our fucking issue. This is also a big message out now to everybody that's in a healer in an angelic spiritual world. You can't save everybody. And everybody who wants to say, we tried to save them all, we did try to save them all. We did. We did. And it cost us 4 years. That's why this is all happening. This is all happening, and the last 3 years of witch wars was because we tried to save them all. Our reward as the angelic collection, because we did it in pure consciousness, we literally wanted to save them all. What did the universe do for us? Made it possible for us to turn back on the cosmos, made it possible for us to turn back on the planets and lock them up in Saturn. Is the universe doing that? No. We're all doing that down here. It's why we're crying. It's why we're upset right now. It's why I'm on here yelling. You know why? Because a gate just closed in Saturn. And all those beings that are connected to us, we ain't going to see them for a little bit. And are they upset about it? No. Are they upset about it because they're going to miss us? No. They're upset about it because they got caught. Are we upset because they got caught? Yes. Do we feel sad for them? Yes. Does it pull on our heartstrings and make us fucking angry to even think that they got themselves in that position? Yes. If we let them out, will they come and try to kill us? Fuck yes. If we give them a year, will they be a little bit better when we come back around? Oh, yeah. Just like a kitty cat. Just like a kitty cat. Why do we feel bad? We know what's happening in there. We've been in there. That's where they put us. We know exactly what they're going through. We know exactly what it feels like to have your etheric body ripped off you. We know exactly what it feels like to not know if you're alive or dead. We know exactly what it feels like to know that you're not going to see your children or anything that you've ever known for 10,000 years. And then the only thing that you're thinking about is planning on how to get back in and watch the human race to plan out a fucking procession which takes 10,000 years to pick and choose which family lines you're going to come back into, to come back into those family lines, and then those be the lines that put you in Saturn to begin with? Because that's how it worked. So they locked us up and threw away the key. We know what it feels like to be in there. Well, the only solace that they have is that we ain't going to throw away the key. We ain't going to throw away the key. But it's also going to take us a year to get back over here. It's going to take us a year to get back over here. So don't worry. You ain't going to hear from us. You ain't going to see from us. You ain't going to feel our energy. You're not going to be able to suck it through a straw. You're not going to be able to manipulate it on a telegram. You ain't going to be able to robocall your way out of this. You can't email your way out of this. The more that you attempt to do it while you're in there, the further you're getting pushed away. So if you're in Saturn now and you're all in there planning, then we might not see you for 3 years. That don't mean that you can't make a connection. It means you got to do the fucking work. You got to clear your body. You got to be in there and figure out why you're in that situation. Because it's in a machine. You're in a machine that you tricked and rigged. Like Rigel. Rigel's a bunch of riggers. It's where that word came from that everybody hates, but it doesn't have anything to do with black people. It has to do with reptiles. Riggers. From Rigel. You got to unrig your shit. You got to take all the Band-Aids off. You got to take all the metal little paper clips off. You got to take the paper clips off first because they're holding your timelines. And it's all connected into Pennsylvania. I don't care if you live here or not. The whole system is set up to feed into the system to make more. If you don't put water on a flower, the flower's going to die. If you don't put water on the flower, on the stem, then the flower's not going to come, then the pollen's not going to come. If you take all water away from all flowers and then project it on the screen and tell everybody that they're in a prairie, that's where we're at right now. Because nobody fed into the stream. The water is resources, money, time. How are we supposed to produce more consciousness? How are we supposed to produce more coins? How are we supposed to produce any of that if we're not involved in the system? If you're saying that we're the system because you paid for, you put, the Masons put $10 million in account and then sent me the protocol to go drop Bitcoin and to see if I could do it. It's based on that $10 million in the account under some name. That's what backed it. They sent it to me, and then they sent me on a mission in my consciousness to go dig through timelines and drop bit. I do. They keep the 10 million. They don't ever put the 10 million back into the bit. This is why bit is never, it's going to blow out. It's going to blow out its ass. It's going backwards. Everything's going backwards from the decimal point. It's not going forward to the decimal point. I mean, hello. It's because no water's been put into the system. Everyone's still paying their credit card. Everyone's still paying the fees. Everyone's still paying. But is there an ascended collective fund that you're paying for air? Do you want to start having to pay for air now? Do you want to pay for oxygen now? I mean, realize that this is where this is going in their system. I hope you're getting the message. Elon Musk supposedly went, he bought the alphabet, he bought all the planets. Like he knew that it was a wide open space, and none of it was all in a simulation process. The whole world had given him the power, whole world had given him a whole bunch of money. He just went and said, I'm going to buy the planets. I'm going to buy the alphabet. Well, that's why we had to break the word, blow the alphabet into a bunch of colors, break the word, break numerology, and break the planetary system, because Elon said that he owned it. If he owned it, then that means in 10, 20 years, you're his robot. Literally. Just because the whole world isn't aware of the battles that we're fighting and what we're dealing with, don't mean that it ain't happening. In fact, the more that nobody knows, the more powerful the battle that's going on. And that's where your ancient healers are right now. This is where we're at right now. If we're not able to answer your questions right now, or if we're going through some personal shit right now, this is why. And all of this is coming up only because I'm trying to figure out my next step and what to do with helping all of you get the information you need for Cohu 32. Are you not seeing how I've been spread in the middle? Are you finally understanding that every time that we developed something new, it was also used for something bad? And then we had to go deal with that? Every single thing down here that we've ever created has been used for good and bad. It's been used for good and evil. When you create something new that the collective doesn't even know that they need, then it becomes evil really quick, because then it's real easy for them to see how it's controlling the collective, and because the rest of the collective doesn't even see, and then you become owned by the devil. It's tricky. It's a fine line. For those of us that come from and have Akashic libraries of mystery schools and stuff like that, It's that these things have to be built. We have to get, and I'm not talking about get a house, put some little spiritual tarot readers in it, and call it what it is. No. No. I command all education on this planet is now under our fucking supervision in every way. Education on everything. Everything. I command complete control down here within the Ascended Collective on any information or knowledge that is going in and out. And I command that Cohu 32 be set on it within the internet, and you aren't able to find any fucking information that can help or hurt you until you're ready. And the rest of it is blocked. And this is protecting our children too. And now we're putting energetic binds on it. And it's having to be done because it's the only way to keep them out of our fucking Akashic libraries in our heads. Because we're not giving them all the new things that we learned getting out of their old spells. They're going to have to do it on their own. Or they're going to have to seriously pay for it. Because that should be what's happening. The industry and NATO and NASA and Ford and all these companies should be paying to us millions of dollars, millions, to clean their money to help them clean and sustain some type of commerce down here. But they need to send it to the collective so that we can get out the education in order to support them together. And until they do, we're having a standoff. You shut up. In fact, I command you to you're going to shut up. I pull all oxygen from your field, and I'm reporting you as hate speech and violence. I don't think everybody understands what a big deal this is. An entire portion of the collective is fixing to be going out to Ophiuchus. They're going to get sucked up there. Shooting the messenger's been the problem down here. The Bible even got you dancing on 2 witnesses. Well, I got 20,000 witnesses that I just pulled out of the basement, set up on 12 that were bound together underneath some shit. And it's a holy war, all right, on knowledge and information consumption. If your body and your system isn't prepared to process the information, I command it deleted from their Akashic libraries. I mean, imagine what I feel like. Me and Michelle had to go down to a SIM card of data and blood. You're over here attacking the one that cleared your blood. You're over here telling me to shut up, and I'm your internet. You're watching me on my infrastructure, band together with a whole bunch of your brothers and sisters. I'm over here trying to help you, trying to figure out how the fuck to straighten this out so the good people in the world can actually start doing what it is that the founding fathers had us doing down here, which is in order to claim the church at the end of days. And the church is your fucking planet. Religion made it into a simulation. And everything kept it going. And it kept you going to the ER at the end. But sure, I'll shut up. You got it.